Hello, this tutorial is going to cover how to create your dimension packet for uh, your design challenge. At this point, you should have all the other assignments done. You should have your all your parts made, all of your assemblies done, and you should have created your exploded view. If you haven't done all of those things, make sure you go back and take a look at that. So just to kind of show you this, you can see I have all of my parts made. I have my assembly put together, and I've created an exploded view. I've actually done a few of these. There we go. Yeah, so I've got my exploded view done. If you don't have all of those things done, there's tutorials on how to do all of those, so go back and take a look at that. So the next thing you're going to want to do at this point is to create your dimension drawing packet. And so if you haven't already made one, this is one right here. It'll look like that. I'm going to make a new one and show you though. We're going to go to create, or the little plus thing, and create drawing. And we're just going to use the standard template, and we're going to leave off the views for now. So this is going to open up a new sheet for us. And there's going to be a total of, if you've made 5 parts, there's going to be a total of 7 pages that you need. You're going to need to have a assembly view, an exploded view, and then all of your parts need their own views. So I'm going to start off with my assembly as my first page. So I'm going to take my assembly. I called mine trial assembly for some reason. And I think you can rearrange this view. So we'll click to put it in there. And then it should let us put in multiple views of what that looks like. A little slow, sorry about that. And so we'll just want some kind of normal views here. Whoop, too many. Escape. And I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that last one I put in. That's been really slow. Let's see if I can speed that up a little bit. There we go, a little faster. So you can kind of organize these things. You'll see they automatically kind of leave themselves lined up, which is what we want. And try to get them so that they all fit pretty nicely on the page, like something like that. So this would be good. I see some different views: the front, side view, a top view, and then an isometric view. Whatever you want to include on this, just to kind of get the general idea of what you're doing is perfectly fine. So then we're going to go ahead and just keep adding in new sheets. So I clicked on this little button on the side, and you can see what I've kind of got in here. And then I can just add a new sheet. And in this sheet, I want to place my exploded view. So I'm going to look right here, insert view, trial assembly, and then my view orientation. I'm going to leave that alone for now. To include my exploded view, I'm going to actually insert the assembly, but go where it says explode/position. I'm going to go to explode 1. If you've got multiple exploded views that you've tried out, you can certainly pick the one you want. Now, I don't like that front view. I actually want an isometric view, and that looks pretty good. It kind of shows what the part looks like, so I'm going to place that in there with a click. Now, the main thing that I'm going to want to add to this view is some callouts or balloons, and then my bill of materials, which is this table right here. So I'll start by making these callouts, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on a part, and then click off to the side, and that should be that one. And it should put numbers in there for me. But I just need one balloon on each individual part. Now, the next thing I need to do is put in my parts table here, my bill of materials. There we go. Bill of materials. Still getting used to this one. I did it once. And so my bill of materials, we typically put this down in a corner. And if you see the little dots here, going to tell you where you can snap to. I want to snap to the bottom corner here so I can put it right in the corner. The little red square is letting it snap to. And so now you've got your item number and your quantity for each of these. And so you can see like item number 1. Whoa, did not want that to happen. Let's put you back up here. And so you can see item number 1 is this piece right here, and you can see that it says that there are 2 of them. Now, if you go in, you can set this up so that it gives you a part number or description or name for that part. That's not going to do that automatically, but that's okay for now. The main thing is I want to see the different balloons and which parts they are. Now, when we go to add our new sheets, our sheets for these parts, I do want you to try to keep these in order. So if you look at this, item number 1 was this little short front leg. So when I go into sheet 3 here, when I go into sheet 3, the first part I'm going to want to put in, hit insert, and I'm in Part Studios now because I want to actually put in a part instead of an assembly. I'm going to put in that front leg. Now I made all of these parts in the same Part Studio. If you did not do that, you can certainly go to other documents. You might have made some parts separately. They'll be under other documents. I made mine all in the same Part Studio. And so that's why I can find them all right here. So my front leg is right here, part 1. Let it spin a little bit here. And so it's going to say, okay, I want the front view. And then I can go in and add my other views. So I just click on it, and I can kind of project those other views out to my file here. Now, a few things that we've talked about. If there's 2 views that really don't add any information, there's no reason to keep both of them. So this would be a good place to delete that view. And these are also the places where you're going to want to put dimensions on your parts. So I've got my dimension tool right here. Normal dimension is just going to dimension basically between 2 points. And then all of these are just more specific types. You're not going to probably use these all that much unless you've used like a hole tool. You'll use that one down there. Most of these aren't going to get used. I would use the dimension tool. So if I'm up here and I want to dimension between these 2 points, I can do that. Bring my dimension out, and it'll place my dimension on there. You can click on this button here and edit all this other fun stuff, but we're not going to get into any of that. at least this year. We don't have time, unfortunately. So then we can just keep adding those dimensions in. And remember, we want to try to get enough information to make this part, but not so much that it gets confusing. So think about the actual required information that you would need and nothing else. So I know how big this part is, like length and width, and I also know how tall it is. That's all I need for this part. Then I can go ahead and do the exact same thing for my next part. And again, I'm kind of following the order here. So part number 2 were these little arms on the bench. So that's going to be the next thing I want to place in. So I hit Insert View, Insert up here under my Part Studios, and I called that the cross brace. So I can go ahead and place this in. Spin, spin, spin. There's my front view. There's my right side view. And then I can project off of that front view to get my isometric view and hit escape. If you forgot a view, the tool we're using is this projected. So you just click on the view you want to start from and then move off to the side, and that'll project a view from there. I'll go ahead and make a separate video on I think what some of these things do, we've used the section view in Inventor before. It's going to work exactly the same way. We've used the detail view in Inventor before. It's going to work exactly the same way. Same thing with this break view. So those tools will work pretty much the same way as Inventor will. If you need to add anything like a center mark or a center line, those are your tools for that. I haven't seen a ton of circular items, but there are a few where you're just going to want to put that center mark on the circle so that you can dimension to the center of your circle. But that's, again, going to work exactly the same way as Inventor will.